Good evening. This is Tyrone Holmes, the founder and CEO of the MSF Fidelis. We welcome you back to the Trauma Network for Men. Boy, I tell you, we really have a show for you tonight, and we really want to get into it. We welcome you back. We hope that you are enjoying our broadcast. We love to hear from you. We ask you to please get in contact with us on the social media networks. Follow us on Facebook, on our Twitter page, as well as on YouTube. We love to hear from you and hear about your concerns and how it's helping the men in your life, or the boys in your life, ladies, and men as well. We need to hear from you, and we love for your support. We really need it. Well, we're going to get back into our program this evening. We want to welcome one of our brothers back with us, Brother Josh. Good to see you, Brother Josh. Good to have you. Tonight's broadcast, we're going to be talking about a very, very powerful subject. It's probably going to be in two parts. We'll probably do a part tonight and a part on next week. And I know the majority of you that have seen the videos on the YouTube network that it's in like 3 different parts. The reason why that is because the camera only tapes so many minutes per segment. But those ones that you see each week, that's really one broadcast, but it's just split up because the time constraints that are on the video camera. So that's why it's done that way. So we're going to get into it tonight. Tonight's topic is kill the man's dream, kill the man. Kill the man's dream, kill the man. And I want you to really, really listen closely, because I think it's really going to help you. Brother Josh and I met on this past week and talked about this week's broadcast, and I think it's really going to help you. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to first start off reading a scripture. We are Christian based. We're not here to hammer anybody in the head over their head with religion, but we are a Christian-based organization. But to deal with the subject that we're dealing with, we have to deal with this scripture first, and then we can get into the main meat of our subject for tonight. Brother Josh.
Our reading comes from Genesis 37, 3 through 20, and it goes, "Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. Also he made him a tunic of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peacefully to him. Now Joseph had a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him even more. So he said to them, 'Please hear this dream which I have dreamed. There we were, binding sheaves in the field. Then began my sheaf arose, and also stood upright, and indeed your sheaves stood all around and bowed down to my sheep. And his brothers said to him, Shall you indeed reign over us? Or shall you indeed have dominion over us?' So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. Then he dreamed still another dream, and told it to his brothers, and said, 'Look, I have dreamed another dream. And this time the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me.' So he told it to his father and his brothers. And his father rebuked him and said to him, 'What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall your mother and I and your brothers indeed come to bow down to the earth before you?' And his brothers envied him, but his father kept the matter in mind.
Yes.
Then his brothers went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, 'Are not your brothers feeding the flock of Shechem? Come, I will send you to them.' So he said to them, 'Here I am.' Then he said to him, 'Please go and see if it is well with your brothers, and well with the flocks, and bring back word to me.' So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron, and he went to Shechem. Now a certain man found him, and there he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, 'What are you seeking?' So he said, 'I am seeking my brothers. Please tell me where they are feeding their flocks.' And the man said, They have departed from here, for I heard them say, They let us go to Dothan.' So Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. Now when they saw him afar off, even before he came near, they conspired against him to kill him.
Yes.
Then they said to one another, 'Look, this dreamer is coming. Come therefore, let us now kill him, and cast him into some pit, And we shall say, some wild beast has devoured him. We shall see what becomes of his dreams.
All right, powerful, powerful, powerful words about dealing with kill the man's dream, kill the man. First, I would like to dedicate this broadcast to a very, very good friend of mine, Brother T.J. Coleman out of West Virginia. He wrote a book, CP Time No More, and we got to talk and we became friends over Facebook, and we talked, and he sent me the book. We become very, very good friends. And I seen a portion of his book was, Brother Josh, a portion of the book was talking about this particular subject. And I told him that we need to do a broadcast dealing with dreams. So the scripture relates back to that. By reading that scripture, what did that mean to you?
Thanks for asking, Brother Tyler.
All right.
It meant to me that even though they conspired against him, he still did what he had to do.
Okay.
He still had the dream.
That's right.
The dream never died within him.
That's right.
Even though his brothers envied him, they denied him.
Yes.
They even tried to kill him.
Yes.
But his dream lived on.
Exactly. And that's so powerful because a lot of men in our society have big dreams. As boys, we dream a lot of things. I want to be a football player. I want to be a basketball player. I want to do this. I want to do that. But sometimes in life, if we don't have the right support, or we're not in the right environment, that can kill our dreams, and that in turn makes us go get on drugs, alcohol, get into gangs, and things of that nature, because we feel that we cannot accomplish that dream anymore.
Right.
Okay, so there was a powerful statement that was made, and many of you, maybe when you think about the dream, you think about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., of course, because yes, he was a powerful, powerful leader. A question was asked, who said who can kill a dreamer, but you can't kill the dream? Well, that was said by Reverend Samuel Kyle speaking on the assassination of Dr. King. Those threatening King's life said, we will shoot this dreamer and see what happens to his dream. Same thing with the scripture that we just read. Same exact thing. Kyle's reply was, you can kill the dreamer, but you cannot kill the dream. Now, Brother Josh, let me just ask you, have you had any dreams in your life when you were younger about some things that you want to accomplish that may not have come full circle to this point now that you're 21? Or something that you want to do?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. We all have dreams as men. We all have dreams. And a lot of dreams don't come to life because some things in our life hinder us from doing it. It could be family members. We're going to get down into that a little bit. But let's get in to talk about a little bit about I Have a Dream speech by Dr. Martin Luther King, because it's going to lead us into what we need to talk about tonight. King had been preaching about dreams since the early 1960s. When he gave a speech to the National Association of Advancement of Colored People, as you know, called the NAACP, the Negro and the American Dream. This speech discusses the gap between the American dream and reality, saying that the urban white supremacists have violated the dream, but also that our federal government has created among us, or scared the dream, through its apathy and hypocrisy. Its portrayal of the cause of justice. King suggests that it may well be that the Negro is God's instrument to save the soul of America. He also delivered a dream speech in Detroit in June of 1963 when he marched on Woodward Avenue with Walter Reuther and the Reverend C.L. Franklin, which many of you may not know this, but that was Aretha Franklin's husband. The lady, the lady that sings all the powerful songs, Aretha Franklin, that's her father. The March on Washington speech, known as I Have a Dream speech, had been shown to have several versions to this, all right, written at several different times. The focus on I Have a Dream comes through the speech's delivery. Towards the end of the delivery, noted African-American singer Mahalia Jackson shouted to King from the crowd, "Tell them about the dream, Martin." King stopped delivering his prepared speech and started preaching, punctuating his points with I have a dream. So, when we look at that particular event in our history in the 60s, about Dr. King's dream, he wanted a country where people was not judged by their color, they was not judged by their creed, but by the content of their character, who they were people. And a lot of people at that time, and racism was still rampant, and we know we're still dealing with racism to this day, but he wanted a country where he didn't have to worry about his kids not going to different places. He wanted to fight for equality for everybody. How do you feel about that, Josh? And I know, and we're not prejudiced here at MSF. We love all brothers. That's why Brother Josh is part of it, because I reached out to Brother Josh when I first met him, not as being just a white brother, but just a brother across the board. How do you feel about the dream that Dr. King had and what he wanted and what you have seen in your lifetime with racism in our communities, and how do you feel that it has affected men that you have known?
Wow, Brother Tyrone, that's a powerful question right there. Yeah, when I was learning about Dr. Martin Luther King when I was in middle school, it really hurt me to know that African Americans were treated the way they were because of their color. Me being white, yes I am, and I'm not prejudiced, but I really hate what the white people did to y'all, because they were scared. They were afraid that y'all were going to be better than them.
Brother, go ahead, Brother Josh. You hit it around the head. Go ahead. Powerful.
Yeah, they thought that they were going to be powerful and that African Americans will make more money and all that. So they basically did what they did out of fear.
That's right.
And to answer your question about racism in the community now, Tyrone, it is still a big issue.
Yes.
Because you got black on black violence.
Sure.
You got white on white, white on Hispanic. I don't care what color you are.
That's right.
But we need to refocus ourselves, because the racism comes from within you.
That's right. It's a taught behavior.
It's a taught behavior.
That's right. That's right.
So how can you love another person if you don't love their color?
That's right.
Their creed, their nationality.
That's right.
It doesn't matter, because you cannot love that person unless you love yourself first.
So you brought up a very powerful word, Brother Josh. We talked about this last week on our last couple of broadcasts, especially the man box. We as men, we fear. We have that fear. What you said is, white brothers during that time, and even to this day, they fear because they feel that if black men would come together and use their collective abilities, that they would surpass them, make more money than them, take their jobs, take their women, and it was out of fear factor. So the only way they knew how to suppress the black man was to enslave them or treat them less than. Right. And that made the black person feel, well, and you know what happens is, that's just like the old theory. For instance, I remember I used to go to the beach when I was very small in Atlantic City back home, New Jersey. We used to go get crabs and put crabs in the bucket. If one crab tried to get out of the bucket, one crab would pull him back down. Okay, same thing with the racism. As more as the white brother will put more constraints on the black man by indoctrinating his mind that you less than, he continues to think that. And his mind is conformed, well, I ain't gonna never be nothing, so I might as well go sell drugs, I might as well do this, I might as well do that, because the white brother, he ain't gonna give me no job.
Can I say something on that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To me, a lot of the laws nowadays are toward black people, because, like you said, it's out of fear.
Yes. Yes.
See,
yes.
You can make stricter laws.
Yes.
But the more strict you make the laws, the more people are going to rebel against the law.
That's right. Absolutely.
So really the law is bringing us down.
Yes.
And like we said in the last broadcast, it's a double standard.
Yes.
See, society wants us to behave in a certain way. But then when we retaliate in that certain way, they condemn us. They put us in jail.
Yes. Absolutely. And he's Brother Josh is absolutely right. Because the way society has shaped us or put us in that square box, and we was talking earlier before we came on the broadcast about women as well, society has put women in the box as well. And we conform to those things, but in actuality, the more laws, like you said, the more laws that are created, the worse society gets. Right. Because you cannot abide by all the laws they put out, because there's always going to be a change in a law. If you don't change the way you think in here and change your heart, then nothing's going to change.
No, sir.
It's not going to change. So I can say, well, I don't like white people, but if my thinking don't change and say, well, he's a man just like I'm a man. Why can't I respect you and love you, do what I do, and love you like I love myself? Because that's what the scripture teaches. Love thy brother.
As thy love thyself.
That's right. And love thy neighbor or thy brother as thyself. If we can't do that, then we will never be successful. And that's what MSF is all about, loving our brother as ourselves. Because we come in, we greet each other with a hug, we give each other a holy kiss, meaning we don't literally kiss each other, but we greet each other with a holy hug to let each other know that we love one another. And that's what we have to get back to, because if we don't get back to it, we're going to continue to destroy ourselves. Day in and day out. You see it every day. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, Brother Josh, and maybe you have, getting back to this issue about the dream, and we're going to get more into this. Donald Sterling of the LA Clippers,
Yep.
the same thing. He's an 80-year-old man talking about he don't want black people, he don't want his girlfriend at that time to be around black people and bring them to his games, and you own a basketball team that is predominantly black.
Exactly. See, let me tell you something about that. When a man doesn't love himself, like you said,
Yeah.
how can he love somebody else?
Yes.
You can't, because you have that hate in your heart.
That's right. That's right. That's
See,
right.
I didn't know about the Clipper situation until like 2 nights ago. And it's like a team that is predominantly black.
Yes. Yes.
Think in your situation, Tyrone, as an African American. Would you want him owning your
No,
team?
I wouldn't, because that brings back the old slave mentality.
Right.
And I really shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway because I don't use this word. He's treating his players, because he said in the statement that on the video that don't I give them cars, don't I give them houses, don't I give them clothes and all this stuff. It's just like we, or the players, are the field niggers, and he is the master over them. So he's saying, well, they should be grateful for what I'm doing for them.
No, they've earned that.
And you're right, they earned it. Exactly right. So that's why I'm glad the commissioner came down and banned him for life. And also they're trying to sell the club so somebody else can get the club. Because we know that racism is going to exist, because that's a tort behavior. Well, there's a few people out there that were saying maybe Magic Johnson, maybe P. Diddy wanted to buy the franchise, but nothing has come clear yet on what's going on. But we don't need that type of behavior, and we're going to become men.
How can you be a man, Tyrone?
Yeah.
I'm asking you, Tyrone, straight heart. How can you be a man if you're not taught how to be a man?
You
And
can't.
also because as a team owner, you're supposed to be there for your team.
Yes.
No matter thick to thin.
Sure.
Like, no matter. If you own a team, you're supposed to manage that team. And with the LA Clippers, I don't even remember his name.
LA, Donald Stern.
Donald Stern.
Sterling. Yeah.
Sterling, like, he, basically to me, he was trying to rule with an iron fist.
That's what he was doing. Absolutely.
Like, he wanted, like you said, he was a field person.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't use that word.
Yeah.
It's racist.
Yeah.
But basically, he's sitting on top of the food chain.
That's right.
And everybody else is on the team making him money.
That's right.
He's not returning the favor.
That's right.
Yeah, you're making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But think of how much money he's making on top of that.
Absolutely.
So you can't love.
That's right.
You cannot love another person unless you love yourself.
Absolutely.
If you can't love yourself, I don't care who you are. You're not going to be able to love anybody else.
Exactly. All right, we're going to move in, and we talked about the dream of Martin Luther King and how they killed him. We know that he was assassinated on April 4th, 1968, and they felt that the dream, and we're going to get into this because I think it's very, very powerful. They killed him, they assassinated him out of fear. Exactly, out of fear. And what happened was, from that point on, and we talked about this Tuesday, I think, Brother Josh, is that we can be excited and motivated by certain things in life. But it seems like soon after all the excitement dies down, we go back to normal. And that's what leads us to our next point. The Million Man March, many of y'all remember that back in 1995, okay? I was still living in New York at the time, in the New Jersey area. Honorable Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, he inspired and led a group of men, millions of black men gathered in Washington, D.C., and to declare the right to justice, to atone for their failure as men, to accept responsibility as the family head. He was putting out a directive to all men that we need to come together, which I applaud his efforts, because I think it was an awesome thing to do. Now, let's look at it here. There are men who stood for